From Idaho's News Channel 7, this is Friday Night Football.
Hey, good evening, everybody. We are getting closer and closer to the end of the regular season, and I got to tell you, the slate of games this week, second to none when it comes to the high school football schedule this year.
Yeah, a ton of top 5 matchups, and we really probably won't see a lot of weeks like this until playoffs start to roll around. These were some high-stakes, high-caliber games tonight.
I was just going to say, this felt like state football, just with 80-degree weather, which I will absolutely take. We begin with our KTVB Game of the Week, Rocky Mountain and Meridian. Both of these teams entered the ring 6-0. Only one would exit undefeated on the season. We picked this one up in the third. Meridian pins Rocky deep. I mean deep. But Luke Lucchini buys a little bit of breathing room with a nice run down the left sideline before getting forced out of bounds. The Warriors would push right back. Linebacker Nathan Reynolds continues to prove he is simply one of the best players in the state of Idaho this season. He comes up, makes the big hit. Rocky comes up, empty on offense. On to the fourth quarter now. Meridian clinging to a 7-6 lead. Brody Swearheart nearly comes up with an interception, but as he rolls over, the ball winds up on the ground. Parker Weatherly's like, it's okay, bud, I got your back. He gets the big sack. Parker, you were ridiculous in the second half of that game. Just took over. After these teams traded punts, the Warriors finally get that breakthrough on offense. Zeke Martinez to Riley Byington down near the goal line. He fights his way into the end zone. That made it 14-6 Meridian. Rocky would drive down in about 90 seconds. They had a chance to tie the game with a 2-point conversion. But as you can see, they come up empty. Meridian wins a marvelous high school football game, 14-12, the final. I got to say, I went to Owyhee first. I wanted to be at that game for the finish. I had to leave before that final Rocky drive. But, man, those were two heavyweights that went at it all night long.
Absolutely. So Meridian, one of the things that they do really well, they kind of control the tempo. Is that what you saw tonight?
Yeah, they controlled a lot tonight. And Rocky had some chances. They made some big plays when they were backed up in their own end zone. They just couldn't quite put it together once they got over the 50-yard line and ultimately punched through for a big score. So I have a feeling we will see those two teams in the state playoffs.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to think if the bracket will break down. Hey, eventually they could play each other again, but we'll see. Those are two very good football teams, very sound on defense. And they can do just enough on offense to make a difference.
Extremely physical on both sides of that tonight as well.
Agreed.
Well, let's jump over to another really hyped-up matchup. It did not disappoint. The Eagle Mustangs loud and proud as they host the Mountain View Mavericks. And the first play from offense for the Mustangs, Luke Chapman hits Ian Duarte. He dodges the first tackler, and then that is all he needed. There are not many players in the Gem State faster than number 1. He takes it 75 yards to the house, and the Stang gang is loving that one. One of the great atmospheres in Treasure Valley High School football. Great energy. Well, Duarte, he was just getting started. The show continues this time off the pitch. Great blocking from the O-line and the receivers, and he gets some distance, does the rest on his own. Another 75-yard touchdown. An incredible night, but he actually has done this before. Against Nampa, he scored on the first play from scrimmage as well. Same kind of deal. Well, the Mustangs, Mountain View, they go right back to it. Justin McGee keeps this a game. Touchdown from 5 yards out. And then the Mountain View defense really opens this game up. They force a fumble. That one recovered by Ivan Perkins. That drive ends in a field goal. When Eagle gets the ball back, the defense does it once again. This time it's Perkins who knocks it loose. Owen McBride recovers. Mountain View gets another field goal on the board, and this is suddenly a 1-point game. This time Eagle takes their time driving down the field. They cap off the possession with a run up the gut by Leroy Hull. Back and forth game, but the Stang gang prevails. Eagle wins it 28-19, probably finds themselves in the top 5 next week, I would say.
Yeah, hey, you said that Ian Duarte is one of the fastest guys in the state.
Well, I haven't seen every player, but I'll tell you he's the fastest I've seen.
Exactly. That kid can absolutely roll. Waiting to see. I know that he's definitely had some interest at the next level. Interested to see how he's really helped himself out, because I got to say, Ian's doing a lot of that work, but I want to say by himself, but he's earning it this year. Let's say that.
Absolutely.
Is that fair?
I'll say though, the O-line looks good. You know, he just needs a little bit of space.
And he'll take advantage.
And they're giving it to him.
Yeah, everybody's going to find out he wears the number 1 because you're just going to see him from the backside there as he runs away from you. Okay, up next, how about Cuna and Hawaii? Yes, Storm head coach Sherm Blaser squaring off against the school he once led to a 4A state championship. Early on, the Cavemen threatening down inside the red zone. Caden Newman breaks on the ball here, nearly comes away with the pick. Cuna ends up settling for a short field goal. This attempt splits the uprights, and Cuna goes up 3-0 early in this contest. Later in the first, Cole Lukengate rolls out of the pocket and throws back across his body. He finds Colton Deathridge just beyond the sticks. On 3rd and long, this would extend the drive onto the second quarter now. Same possession. How about Cooper Hyatt, man? He storms off the edge here, makes a big play for Hawaii. He gets the sack. This would set up another 3rd and long. Seems favorable for Hawaii, right, Brady?
No, absolutely.
You're wrong. Because you know why? Cuna's got quarterback Lukenga on their side. Comes up clutch. He hits Colton again on the receiving end. Cuna jumps out 10-0. By the way, I thought that it was a bad situation, but Lukenga got him out of it, right?
Yeah.
And then this. How about Hawaii scoring right before halftime? Tanner Cope toting the rock across the goal line. This was a great game. Hawaii wins 20-17, and a big victory for the Storm. I got to say, it was a little bit of an offensive struggle for them. I know their quarterback's hurt right now. They're down Jack Rasmussen and a couple of playmakers, but ultimately they battle through some adversity this week and get a nice little win.
Absolutely. The progress that they have made this season, the turnaround from last year has been incredible.
Yeah, I agree. By the way, Lukengate. Did I say Lukenga? Lukengate.
You were kind of all over the place.
I was kind of all over the place.
I
I know, exactly. My bad, buddy. I'm going to get it. I was a couple of weeks off covering Boise State football on Friday nights and the weekend. I'm shaking off some rust here, but you're a heck of a player. Either way, the Storm win. They're 4-4 now on the season. Let's get on over to Donna Larson Park. How about the Bora Lions facing off against the Boise Brave?
Yeah, this was another good one tonight. And Parker Rushton, one of the best running backs in the SIC, he's going to get things started tonight for Bora. He gets within sniffing distance of the end zone after a tough run down the middle. And Trevor Fry actually loses his helmet, getting a block for Rushton on this one. Really big team effort. Everyone's showing some toughness. Well, Rushton would get the chance to finish this drive, put 6 on the board for the Lions after he breaks into the end zone. And the Lions, they go for 2, so they go up 8-0 after this one. Well, Boise Brave struggling early on in the first quarter. Quarterback Cooper Smith narrowly avoids being sacked for the safety as he gets taken down. And the Lions would take advantage of the short field position. Parker Rushton, another score on this one. They go up 15-0 after that one. They would go on to win it 29-14.
One of the oldest rivalries in the state. The Lions getting bragging rights. Up next, Skyview and Nampa. The Nampa student section wearing pink in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Nice little battle here, first quarter. Nampa quarterback Gabe Navarro hands the ball off to Daniel Carrillo. Hey, how often have we seen him do this year? Nice little scamper, takes it inside the 30-yard line. A few plays later, 4th down, Nampa attempting a field goal. Isaac Nordstrom comes on. But guess what? It's Skyview's Daniel Hernandez that gets the block. Mason Cron recovers the football. Later in the first quarter, Skyview not trying to move the ball on offense. Their quarterback, Max Cutford, throws it here. Thad Robinson is the intended receiver, but instead, it's Nampa's Jacob Campbell that comes up with the interception, I believe. A few plays later, Navarro going back to the air now, and it's Skyview that comes up with the interception. Wow, a lot of defensive highlights in this one. What we can tell you, Nampa eventually hung 34 on the board, which was 8 more points than Skyview had. The Bulldogs, 5-2 on the season.
Yeah, after jumping up a class.
Yeah. Well done, guys.
It's been a lot of fun to watch them, and they have a really awesome stadium, a really cool environment.
I agree with you. Like it out there, a little old school feeling.
Yeah, but like kind of classic, I would say.
Yeah, exactly. All right, hey, congrats, Bulldogs. How about a little Thursday night football for you? Some more 5A action. Timberline and Centennial. Now, tonight I was at a battle of undefeated teams. Last night I was at a battle of, winless teams. Both Centennial and Timberline trying to get their first win of the 2022 campaign. How about Dane Slavin? The great run down inside the red zone. He was a beast last night. Centennial eventually holds, though, inside the red zone. That was Jacob Carney with a tip down near the goal line on 4th down. Timberline comes up empty. The Wolves would finish on their next drive, though. Austin Rovick going up top Tanner Bishop down the sideline, not going to catch him. Timberline would miss the PAT, so the game stays tied at 13. On to the fourth quarter now. T-Line with a chance to take a lead on 4th and 1. Down at the 3, Rovig, and the Wolves go for it. The quick hitter falls incomplete. Credit Tate Keddington with a big timely hit to jar the ball loose. We go to overtime. Kate Mick. That right there is your game winner, Brady. Centennial gets their first W of the season, 21-13 the final. Man, dramatic football game, but congrats to the Patriots as they get it done in the end.
Well deserved. They've been grinding. They've had some changes at quarterback, and it's really rewarding to see them, put it all together.
They're doing some things differently on offense right now. You could tell they're trying to adapt and play to their strengths. So cool to see them get that done.
A much more exciting Thursday night football game than the one we saw in the NFL last night, I would say.
I was monitoring that one on my phone, and I was glad that I was at Donna Larson Park covering that one.
Absolutely,
yes.
Absolutely. Well, let's jump over to some 4A action. The top-ranked Bishop Kelly Knights have a pink out in the crowd tonight. We saw a lot of those as we jump into October. The Knights look to stay undefeated as they host the Emmett Huskies. BK has a nice lead, but Emmett starts crawling back. Rye Fullerton working his way through a slew of black and gold jerseys. He lands inside the end zone, and I'll tell you what, he earned that touchdown. That was a power run. Bishop Kelly holding a 29-13 lead midway through the third quarter. They would take their time on the ensuing drive. Peter Minert takes it out of the backfield. A gang of Huskies have to bring him down, but he does well enough to get the first down. And a few plays later, the Knights are going to switch things up. We see them run the power run game all the time. Well, this time they're going through the air. Hadley Smith fakes the handoff, rolls out, hits Patrick Monahan inside the end zone for another Bishop Kelly touchdown. Bishop Kelly remains perfect on the season, defending the home turf with an impressive 43-19 win.
All right, up next, how about Ridgeview traveling over to Columbia? Shane Williams-Rhodes, former Boise State football player, is a defensive coach over for the Wildcat. It's homecoming, by the way, second quarter. Ridgeview quarterback hands the ball off here. This is Isaiah Stewart Casper that takes the ball to the 25-yard line. Good for a first down. A few plays later, how about it do it again, right? Stewart Casper just kind of plowing through the Columbia defense, and he would eventually make his way all the way down to the 24-yard, or to the inside the 10-yard line. We're just showing the pre-snap here, right?
Build up anticipation.
Figuring things out, fighting for a couple yards, spins off, and that eventually the payoff, right, of the highlight. All right, later on, and this time, how about this? We've seen a couple carries by the running back. So instead, the quarterback, calls his own number, tries to barrel down closer to the goal line, almost there. Eventually, they would push this thing across. In the end, Ridgeview picks up, Columbia comes back. I'm sorry there, got ahead of myself. Columbia rallies back to win 35-28 the final. Wildcats getting victory number 2 on the season. Big time.
Yeah, well, we got one more for you tonight. We'll jump over. The New Plymouth Pilgrims visited the Nampa Christian Trojans tonight. A beautiful night in Nampa as it kicks off during sunset. Second play of the game, Pilgrim quarterback Cameron Motor has his throw intercepted by Jack Ely. Sorry about that, Jack. I'll get it next time. Who was able to run it down to the end zone for the first score of the game. And then here, Nampa Christian quarterback Aiden Thompson is under pressure, throws it deep to wide receiver Hunter Hafer for another huge game. A lot of explosive plays on this one. A few plays later, we're going to see Thompson call his own number. He scrambles and gets the shovel pass off to running back Matthew Navarez, who dives in for the Trojans' second score of the game.
That looked like Pat Mahomes to Clyde Edwards-Helaire on Sunday Night Football last week.
Absolutely. Well, second quarter, New Plymouth's Motor connects with wide receiver Connor Hawker. He cuts down the field untouched. A lot of big-time plays in this one. Nampa Christian would lead it 14-7 early in the second quarter, but we don't have the final score yet. We would love to get it from you. 208-321-5614. We can put that on our website along with all the other scores that we're about to get into right now.
Hit us up in a hurry. We only got a few minutes left in the show. 208-321-5614. Let us know. Here's some more scores for you. Out in Middleton, the Vikings beat Capital 49-21 the final. How about Valley View hanging 58 on their rivals, beating them 58-3. Big time game. The Falcons, man, they have put up a lot of points this season.
Absolutely.
Dipping down, 3A classification. Homedale winning a fist fight against Weiser, 21-7 the final.
And Fruitland, another big win for them, 42-14 over Payette. And the Fruitland Grizzlies, last week it was homecoming, and it was somewhat of a homecoming for their new head football coach, Jordan Gross. This season has been, his first year stepping into the reins. He graduated from Fruitland High in 1999. After that, he was a first-round draft pick in the NFL and a 3-time Pro Bowler for the Carolina Panthers. Well, now he's given back to his community, taking over the reins of his former program, the one that started it all.
Thin line between success and failure, and make sure that we're staying on the north side of that. I got a wealth of knowledge in football from a career that lasted into adulthood, and so it just seemed like an excellent way for me to be able to support the local community, help these young men.
Good, there you go, good, accelerate, good.
And really it keeps me close to a game that I love, and it means so much to me.
Good, nice job.
After an 11-year NFL career, former Panthers Pro Bowler Jordan Gross is back in Fruitland, taking the reins of the program that sparked his early love of football.
I was definitely nervous, this year came on me quick with the head coaching role. It was a little bit surreal, being the head coach of your high school, and you think, all right, well, I sure hope this goes well.
Gross says he was able to draw from his past, bringing back traditions from his playing days with the Grizzlies.
Good.
And despite being a football expert, there was a bit of a learning curve jumping down to the high school level.
I've just dove into this role like I have all my football roles, where I'm trying to learn from people. High school coaches have a wealth of knowledge that I don't have.
Go, good, nice job.
Figuring out kind of what the high school athlete needs, what the high school offense and defense can look like, and how I can best give anything I can out of my experiences to these kids is what it's all about.
Use our hands this week, fellas.
For the players in a town of just over 5,000 people, the opportunity to be coached up by a literal pro is extraordinary.
You already know he has a great experience, so you know you're going to get taught up well. You know everything he's saying is obviously going to work good, and if you follow it, you're going to do great.
He has a ton of experience. He's a guy from the culture. Having him here is it's great because it shows like what Fruitland's all about.
Family on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Family!
Good job, boys.
And while not every player is bound to make a career out of the game of football, Coach Gross is using football to teach lessons that will prepare them for success in life.
What I can tell you is that success comes in all sorts of forms, and the formula is the same. And so I'm just preaching to these kids about doing things the right way, always give everything your best, working hard at everything you do, be respectful on and off the field, and that'll take you a long way.
That right there is pretty cool.
Absolutely. Really cool opportunity for the players, and he's having a blast too. Just to hear him talk about how meaningful it is to be able to kind of impact these young men.
I think it's cool. I mean, you're talking about a guy, he had a lot of money in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah, he chose to come back and live in the town he grew up in.
Absolutely. I asked him that. I was like, you can go anywhere. There's no better place than Fruitland. His wife is from Fruitland. That's where they met. A long time. Wanted to go back, and what a cool opportunity for everybody involved.
And now they're kind of rolling out there.
Oh, absolutely. They're looking good this season.
Yeah. All right. Hey, a fun week of Friday Night Football. Like I said, a lot of good highlights. Jump on over to KTVB.com. Zach and Danny are cutting and clipping them as we speak right now, so they should be up there before too long. A fun evening, man. And again, tip of the hat to the Meridian Warriors. That was a hard-fought game. Right now, they're 7-0 with only a couple games left in the regular season. Brady, I hate to put you on the spot, man, but you have a vote.
I do.
Who's your #1 team in the state?
I always go based off of what we see, and Meridian won the game, so it's got to be them.
There you go.
Rocky though, they don't drop. They're going to be #2.
Okay.
Easily.
Well, there you go. You heard it right there from a guy that gets to vote on this thing. All right, again, jump on over to KTV.com. We have plenty of highlights from Friday Night Football. Only a couple of weeks left in the regular season. We appreciate you watching. And one last quick plug, Bronco Roundup Game Day Show live on the Blue from 4 to 5:30, getting you set for kickoff between Boise State and Fresno State. Again, 4 to 5:30 on KTVB, and then we will have a digital-only show that will stream live on KTVB from 7 to 7:30. We wanted to rejoin and get you that live look at the Blue with the guys warming up, so we can get you that last injury report of who's in and who's out for the Broncos tomorrow. Can Boise State move to 3-0 in conference play? We'll find out then. For Brady Frederick, I'm Jay Tust. We'll see you next week on Friday Night Football.